Hey cactus friends, it's Jenny from Cookies Cacti, and today I wanted to show you something a little bit special. I was outside checking on my plants and I noticed that my Euphorbia obesa or two of them are in bloom. And the reason why it's special I'll talk about in just a second. So, Euphorbia obesa was one of my obsessions when I was early in the cactus game. But I will say, Euphorbia obesa are not cactus. So cacti are native to the Americas, whereas Euphorbia obesa are actually from South Africa. So Euphorbia obesa are succulents, they are not cacti. But the interesting thing is this concept of convergent evolution, meaning that you take two organisms, or in this case two plants, and they grow up in two completely separate regions that share similar characteristics, so hot, dry. And what happens is these two completely unrelated plants start to develop very similar characteristics. Oftentimes I see Euphorbia obesa compared to have similar look to the Astrophytum asterius, although these two Astrophytum asterius are cactus. I think they're native to small parts of Texas in the United States and to Mexico. And then we've got the Euphorbia obesa, which are native to South Africa. So let me talk a little bit about why it's so special to have these two in bloom. The reason is because Euphorbia obesa are dioecious, meaning that each plant has only one sex of flower. So on the left here, I have a female plant, and on the right, I have a male plant, and they both happen to be in flower today at the same time, which is really special. Let me show you what the female flowers look like, and this is the only way you can tell whether your plant is male or female is by looking at the flower. So I'm going to zoom in on the female flower, and now I'm going to stare at my notes because I can't remember flower anatomy. But if you see that the female flower has like a three-pronged structure to it. Let me see how close I can focus. Oop. So those are the three sigma, and they're structured in that way to be able to catch pollen. And if you'll notice, these flowers on the obesa are very small, unlike the Astrophytum flowers that are really, really big. So these tiny flowers actually can stay on the plant for quite some time, unlike the giant flowers on the Astrophytum, because these asterias have very similar flowers to those flowers I showed in my Astrophytum flower video. But now let me show you the male flower. So the male flower looks quite a bit different from the female flower. At the top of the male flower, you can see the little anthers which produce the pollen. And this is how you can tell the difference between a male and female Euphorbia obesa. So this one's a male, and this one's a female. So now you can tell. Now, how I find that the female Euphorbia obesas are quite easy to pollinate. So all I'll do is I'll take my trusty paintbrush, I'll touch the pollen, get some pollen from the male plant onto the paintbrush, and then touch it to that three-prong I think it's a stigma structure of the female plant. And I find that this will take quite easily. So the other cool thing is that after, I think, a few months, it takes a while for these seed pods to form, but once they do, I actually have a female plant that has seed pods on it. So let me show you what it looks like. So here's another obesa, a female plant, sitting in a AZ Veronica mixed pot. And I have this cup structure thing over it because there are seed pods in there, and when those seed pods are ready and they burst, the seeds just fly everywhere. So this structure is to try to help catch the seeds. Let me show you what the seed pods look like. So that's what the seed pod looks like. And I believe each pod carries, I think, 2 or 3 seeds in it. And they're quite fun to grow from seed. They grow pretty fast compared to cactus. So these Euphorbia obesa succulents are quite fun to grow. I highly recommend giving it a try sometime. So this was the first Euphorbia obesa that I ever got. When I first discovered these plants, I was obsessed with them, and this was like my #1 wish list plant, and then I got one. They're actually quite easy to find, especially online, and they're not that expensive either. So I got this one first from an Instagram seller. I think it was Cactus Daddy AZ. Once I found out it was a female when I saw its flower, I went out looking for a male plant, and I got this one from Planta Seca, which you can see from the label. And I have successfully made seed off of this female obesa many times now. I've had this one since, I think, December of 2020. Then I got another female obesa from Planta Seca again, just to be able to make more seed. And then I have one more giant, funny-looking obesa that I got from, I think it was Puerto Rico Plants. When I got it, it was about this tall. It has grown a huge segment on it. I know it's really funny looking. Can't help but kind of laugh at that. Oh my gosh. But obesas are also quite nice because they're spineless, which means that they're squeezable. So I'll give these plants a squeeze to tell when it's thirsty, and actually this girl is a little bit thirsty right now, so I'll give it a drink after I'm done recording. But anyway, yeah, so those are my Euphorbia obesa in flower, one boy and one girl. In contrast, you know, this is a male and female plant, in contrast to my Astrophytum, which had that giant flower that had both male and female parts on it. In this case, it takes a little bit of the stars and the moons to align to get, you know, to be so lucky for these two to be in flower at the same time so that you can try to pollinate them. All right. I guess until next time, hope you're all having a wonderful day, morning, evening, night, and take care. I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye. Cookie.